What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. And this is the pro-black version. Guys, today we're doing a response video to Art Cathey, and she is an African-American YouTuber that is currently in the Gambia, all right? And pretty interesting channel. I will say that, I learned some things here and there from her experiences. But I really want to talk about this video that she did, which was called, Do Africans Even Own Africa? Let's talk facts, not feelings. And I want to talk about that because it was a live stream that she did. Art Cathey, just like myself, can come across many times to be very blatant or in your face. But I think she talks about some things that need to be talked about with the African diaspora, because the one thing I can say about the African American community, coming back to Africa, we want to share in the prosperity with you as a collaborative group. I know that's just me. I don't want to just come and be myself growing. We want the other brothers and sisters to develop that are here, have more agency over their business, agency over their countries, agency over what they should own. I believe that anybody who loves black people has that mindset. The other groups who come in, they're not thinking like that. The Chinese and Indians, they're not trying to share anything or collaborate to bring things to the continent for other people. They're looking to do it for themselves, all right? But there's a website called What's on Gambia, all right? And I believe this is also a Facebook fan page that has over 250,000 people that have liked it, over 300,000 people who follow it. And on September the 5th, they put out the sad reality of the Gambian, all right? And food import, Lebanese, Indians, and Ghanaians, president and first family bodyguards, Senegalese, electricity supply, Senegalese and Turkish, supermarkets and mini markets, Lebanese and Indians, fisheries, Chinese, Senegalese, and Europeans, pharmacy and pharmaceutical import, Lebanese and Indians, okay? But let me just do this. You guys see that? I want you to hear what Art Cathey has to say, and then we'll come back and I'll give my final thoughts on it.
Because y'all remember What's on Gambia, the little fake online publication, they were the ones that wrote that hit piece about me and wanted to say I was disrespectful and all of that shit. It came from them, this publication, okay? And I want to read something that was just so delicious to me. It said, the sad reality of the Gambia. Food import, Lebanese, Indians, and, Guineans. President and first family's bodyguards, Senegalese. Electric supply, Senegalese and Turkish. Supermarkets and mini markets, Lebanese and Indians. Fisheries, owned by the Chinese, Senegalese, Europeans. Pharmacy and pharmaceutical import, Lebanese and Indians. Damn. Tourism industry, owned by the European tour operators. Building and construction materials, owned by the Indians and Lebanese. Furniture stores, Lebanese. Electronic stores, Lebanese and Indians. Banks, Nigerians. Car parts, spare parts, Lebanese, Nigerians, and Senegalese. Stationery stores, Indians and Lebanese. Biggest mobile network operator, Lebanese. Border control and internal security, e-comic. Private healthcare, Lebanese and Indians. Favorite television channels, Senegalese and Middle Eastern. And they say, why Gambia? Why? Let me read you some of the comments in here. And it's really interesting to me because we got a lot of people that's got a lot of stuff to say, and I get that. But I want to go down to a brother, and I think I want to start right here. Somebody said, geez, I didn't know it was like that. I'm going to go to a brother that said this. And somebody said, oh, it's pathetically far worse than we could ever imagine. Somebody said, but I'm confused being racist to Gambians in their own country. Where can we go in this world that's ours? Serious question. Or I'll settle for peace and not be treated like an animal. This is by Naeem Reed. Thank you for saying this, brother. He said, there is nowhere to run. Soldiers and warriors only. No more running. Invest your financial resources in the economic war. Invest your body in the physical war. Invest your heart in the war for each other. If your mental war isn't already won, then you shouldn't be concerned about what is happening in the post. There is nowhere to run. Stand and fight.
All right. So you heard what she had to say. And I want to talk about why I believe that this is. Number one. Now, I do know there are other African countries that are coming into the Gambia and they own things. But the main things that they own, to be fair, should be ran by the Gambia. The electricity supply should be the Gambia. Just like here in Uganda, it's Umeme. All right? Fisheries should be Gambians. Television stations should be Gambians. Private healthcare should be Gambians. All right? All of this, it should be Gambians, right? Even the banks are owned by Nigerians. And I think that the Gambia is such a small country, 2 million people, that talks about the size, because it's really a part of Senegal, but it was kind of just been sketched away. So it's a very, very small place. That has a lot to do with it. But a lot of times you see this all across the continent. You see it in Uganda, where Uganda is much better than the Gambia is, but the Ugandans, don't own, good parts of their service industry. I was at Design Hub today only to find out that farming, a lot of Dutch farmers are in the business here. And it's very easy to get into the business on many places in the continent because there's not a lot of protection for the local people, right? So if you're a person, you have $100,000, and you guys will find out on our Expat Assist, even if you have $50,000 in your account, which isn't a whole lot of money. And if you're enterprising, countries are looking for you to come in and create, right? And a lot of times that keeps a lot of the local people out. The first thing that we need to do for our people on the continent in America, because we have some of these same problems in African American communities. Lebanese, Indians also own a lot of stuff in the black communities, Africans too. We need to teach our people the value of why they should support. All right, I want to keep talking about this. It seems very minimal. It seems very, empirical. But we need to teach our people why they need to support each other's businesses. Okay? That's the first thing. Why are you supporting this channel by watching this channel? Is it because you just like it? Well, the reason why you should like it and share it and because, this channel will give you more tangible things to come to the continent of Africa. That's my reason for you to watch this channel. Okay? We are going to continue to build a breadth of knowledge to give you the advice and the things that we can do to help our people. And that's the reason that I'm saying, I'm using myself as an example. This is why you should support what we do. Because you benefit from supporting what we do. A lot of times in business, we don't talk about each other why we should support business, why we should support black business. Okay? We need to really, really, really do that. And then the second thing is we need to train our people to solve our problems. I know back in the days, the earlier African administrations in the 60s, when they were sending their students to the United States, and I like that about the earlier, in the 60s, the earlier Ugandan governments, earlier Nigerian governments, even in Liberia, right? In Liberia, that was the case. William Tubman, he was sending his people to the States and giving them the incentive to come back. Why? He was giving money to his students when Liberia was doing well to solve the problems in Liberia. Okay? A lot of us as a Pan-African community, we see the problems here, but we are not telling our people and pushing our people with the top wealthy people, the people that have businesses to come in, solve the problems for our folks so you can benefit. A lot of the Gambians are being held out of the business because, number one, they're poor. And I think that the Gambian community, those are at the top, are not training the young people that can go over and get the education and get the training to create. If the technology problem is an issue in the country, the Gambian diaspora has to be more responsible for sending their people back to get into the business. The African American community can help out as well with training. We should have more of that. Gambians that can afford to, if we can, going to the HBCUs that we own and operate, sending them back to the Gambia. All right. And the governments need to have incentives in place for the top people to come back to build and create. If we don't teach our people to solve our problems, we will always have other people solve them for us. And we need to teach that. We need to teach that. We need to teach that. If we don't, we're going to continue to have the problem. But it's going to take a long time. Our people have to teach our people if we're going to be in the intermarrying thing. This is why marriage is so important on the continent. African Americans in the African American community, if you marry each other, coming over to Africa, African Americans marrying people in Uganda, Ugandans marrying people in Uganda, in the communities, building, teaching your people to solve your problems, and helping them get into the business of solving problems. That's all. Those two things. Teaching people the reason why they should support. And third thing, I should say this first. Teaching people the value of working together. A lot of us as African Americans and African people, we don't teach our children, we don't teach each other how teamwork makes a dream work. We have to push that. It's hard working with our people a lot of times, but we have to get over that because they have always taught us that we can't achieve. All right? They have taught us that we can't achieve and that we're better off working for other people, which is the wrong, because once we tell them that, they come in and work for ourselves. We have to teach our people that you work together. You achieve it as a group. That we have to work as a society, and it's hard to do, but we have to learn how to do that. You cannot do that without those three things. And so, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another level of episode of the Celebrity Junk. Subscribe, hit the bell. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.